September 9th, 2016, and I'm just about to take a day trip on my Kymco Like 200i. I've got it all set up. I've got an extra 5 liters of gas here, and under the seat got rain gear, my GPS, etc. that I might need if I get on the back roads. And in the back I've got some lunch, extra bags, and my propane stove for cooking, 2 things of water, and that all fits in on my bike, so I don't need anything on the back of my seat today, just for a day trip.
So I head out down our driveway. On your left here you see our small 13-foot Trillium trailer. We've done quite a few trips with that since buying it a few years ago, and we just love it. We go down to the States quite often and do some camping. Anyway, here I am taking the back roads of Lanark Highlands, and I usually take these roads, well, in the last few trips I've done since buying the bike last spring. I usually take these roads because they are way more interesting. We've had some rain lately, and so there's a few ruts in the roads and nice puddles, which makes the ride a lot more interesting. I'm not interested in speed. I'm interested in just the adventure and the feel of the whole area that I'm going through, so I can smell the smells and see the sights. And here we are between Horn Lake and Park Lake. There's a good put in there for canoeing, and the fishing is not bad. The camping, this is Crown land we're on now, so the camping is really nice and free if you're Canadian for a couple of weeks at least in one spot. You can see some of the ruts I just went through there with the bike. Now the Kymco is doing really well, but I am going slow, and because the wheels, the 12-inch wheels, are quite small compared to an enduro or off-road bike. It does quite well, and good enough for me for now. Here I take a look at that puddle before I decide what to do, and I go slowly around the muddy side of it. Here I am, I'm just coming up to the sign where if you go left you can go down to south, you go right you can go up north around Robertson Lake, that's where we are now. There are quite a few cottages and homes around this lake. We've spent over the years some good times. There's a beach down the end of the lake, public beach. Now I believe you have to pay a minimal entrance fee, but we've spent many a good time with the boys when they were growing up down at the beach and fishing, swimming. Very nice area. Here I passed over the top of the lake and going down the other side. It's a beautiful ride through here. The roads are quite good. There's a few bumps here and there, but on the whole, it's quite nice. Now this, up until a few years ago, this stretch of road was gravel road. Now they've paved it, and it's quite nice. There are lakes off off to the side. Some of this is crown land, some private, and I may take some of the rougher dirt roads down to some places. Here we are at Levant Station, a nice little town that built up around the KMP railway when it was in operation back in the 1800s and early 1900s. That was the KMP trail right there. I went off to the right in other videos when I did actually camp on the crown land up the KMP. I'd like to take the trail to the left though and see how far you can go. I know you can go down through Sharbet Lake, and I'm not sure where it just changes to a walking trail rather than a multi-vehicle trail. But that would be an adventure to go down that way sometime. Maybe I'll do that this summer. This trip actually was in September of 2016, and I'm just editing it now, so when I say this summer, I mean the summer of 2017. Here we are. I'm coming up on the 509 now, and this road is quite nice. Not too much traffic still, which is great, and some nice twisting roads. There's a few bumps here and there. Of course, lots of Canadian shield rock. And there's a small lake off to the side here. This road, if you take it further than when I turn off in a few minutes here, it goes into Ampa. This is where I'm turning now, onto the road toward Cananto and Palmerston Lakes. We've done quite a bit of camping on Crotch Lake actually, and you can go through Ampa and down to the north side of Crotch Lake. That would also be another nice drive. There's a beautiful river, the Mississippi River, going into the top end of the lake with lots of rapids. We've swam there and fished there as well when the boys were younger. And here we are, this coming across the intersection of the two lakes. There's a small dam there to control the water levels, Palmerston and Cananto Lakes. There was a parking lot there, and a small conservation area on the right side where you can hike. Now I'm into the back country of the area above. There's some partridge just flew ahead of me, just above Ampa, into the what used to be Crown Land. Now it's regulated and maintained by the county.
Stopped at Dwyer Marsh for I had a drink of water, and it looks so nice here. One thing though, it's completely covered with poison ivy. Actually, some of it's poison ivy and some of it isn't. There's the poison ivy right there. So it's a beautiful marsh though. I was meant to come up here and go kayaking, so that's one thing I'm going to do. I would go over and see the little dam, but the ground is covered with poison ivy over here, and poison ivy and I don't get along very well. So I'm going to continue on up the trail toward Granite Lake, our destination.
This is Granite Lake. I have camped here in the past and fly fished for the splake they stock it with. And it used to be a very quiet, beautiful lake, but just along the edge I passed a group of fairly noisy campers and a small cabin there. Off to the right here you'll see entrances to organized campsites now with numbered and paid for campsites. So the dynamics and the whole feel of the area has changed, but I suppose they do maintain it. As you can see now, the hydro used to maintain these roads, but now for some reason or other they have stopped maintaining them, so I guess the county had to take over for that certain area back there. Now we're into the hydro maintained roads, and they're quite rough, as you can see. So I decide to turn around at this spot and head back to another area, Mare Lake, that I know of. Like I said, when this was all just crown land, free for the use of the public, we used to camp on these lakes and drive on the roads free of charge, and it was quite nice. Now, if you need a permit to use the road, I think it was about $12 a day, which is I guess worth it in the long run if you consider that they do maintain the roads. Beautiful area to drive around in, small creeks and lakes and swampy areas. Here I have driven for a while, and I'm coming upon Mare Lake, another trout stocked lake, where I'm not sure if you can camp at this one, but you can park and fish, as somebody else is doing there. I can't see their boat. They must be at the other end of the lake. It's not a huge lake, but it's a nice one. So I stop and I get out the propane stove and boil up some tea, have a snack. What a beautiful place to stop and just breathe the fresh air and enjoy the moment. When it's just for a lunch break, I usually take my propane stove, easily lit, and boils water really fast, and then I can relax. I think in the future I'm going to try to do some field recordings of sounds and sights, or sounds anyway, to incorporate them in the movies. Well, as it says, thank you for watching. as I sit and relax next to a peaceful, quiet lake. These trips they mean so much to me, to clear my head, to become one with my bike on the road and one with nature when I stop and relax. See you next time.